Welcome to Luke G's Fair Review, aka home of the DSA. Okay, so we're doing a post-game wrap-up show. I was having all kind of problems earlier, people. Y'all don't understand the stress that I was going through. Trying to get this thing set up, and trying to get this thing squared away. So, just wanted to let y'all know that I am still here, and we're gonna be talking a little bit of Detroit Lions. Now I know it's preseason week 4, and I already see some of the messages coming in right off the gate, where we got people saying things like, "Tease is gone." So no shocker there. So Marcel Edwards, what up, though, man? Welcome to the show. Soda Boy, what up, though? Brad Beard, what up, though? If you are here, make sure you put something in the chat. Let me know where you at so I can shout you out, people. It's a lot to cover, and there was a lot of things that occurred in this game that I think needs to be discussed. Let me just start off with this. Some of the things that I thought were going to happen did happen. Jelani Tavai did not play. I thought that that was a huge thing. I thought that another huge thing was how well Josh Johnson has been playing, given the fact he's only been here for a few days. I mean, it's not like he's been here for a month, but he seemed to have picked this playbook up really fast. And he seemed to add something to the Lions that I don't think we get with Tom Savage. Now, I see Marcel Edwards who says Josh Johnson over Savage still too early. It is still too early, but I think Josh Johnson has made a case to keep that number 2 spot. So one of the things that jumped out to me immediately was and 313 J-Mo just joined the show. So you'll see him in there as well. What's going on, J-Mo?
Oh, what's up, man? What's up?
Yeah. So I'm just talking about how well Josh Johnson played and just covering all types of things. I see TA is in the building, aka Noble Sports Entertainment. What's going on, TA? I see Mo is in the building. What up, though? I know it's late. I know it's Thursday. I know many of you got to go to work
Yeah,
early.
I was about to say, this ain't gonna be long.
Listen, I gotta get some sleep. When the baby sleep, it's time for me to go to sleep. That's how this thing works, and that's where I'm gonna be at. So if the baby sleep, that's code for me to sleep. But I want to get right into it. And I see Antoine is in the building. He says, "What up, though, fellas?"
What's up, Antoine?
So let's go ahead and talk about it, man. J-Mo, tell me some of the things you saw in the game that jumped out to you.
And then I'll Josh Johnson. I'll tell you, I'm gonna just be honest, man. I just watch things, and I'm one of them eye test type of people. And since Josh Johnson played in his first preseason game, he looked like our best backup quarterback. I'm just being honest. And tonight, I mean, Tom Savage, the O-line could not protect him, but when he did get protection, it was like he was even worse.
But that one pass he had where he steps up in the pocket and he threw it at the dirt. I'm like, yo, what is that?
I'm like, man, you can't even throw a straight pass. But I like Josh Johnson, and I would rather him be the backup, honestly. That's just my opinion. Than Tom Savage. I know the Lions like the big gun quarterbacks, but he just better. I mean, Tom Savage been in the office for like months.
Man. And you know the thing that jumped out to me that lets me know, and I'm not a huge fan of Josh Johnson at all, but would let me know that he was doing things a little bit at a faster pace than most, is when they called a read option play with him. We're not doing that with Tom Savage, and I certainly know we ain't doing it with Stafford. We ain't trying to get Stafford killed trying to do no read option play.
Of course not.
So
the thing I like about him is he hits his receivers. So regardless of how he plays, we get to see our freaking receivers. When Savage is out there, he hits receivers and he just throws the ball like a basic, below average quarterback. Like he doesn't, we're not expecting him to be any form of, high level, but Savage can't even hit the receivers. Like,
I think one of the things that jumped out to me when it came to Savage was it looked like he was rusty. Like the little time he had off in the concussion, he was a little rusty. But again, some of those passes were right in front of you. You can't throw the ball in the dirt on those plays. And I see right now we got one from Elk Productions. I hope I said that right. He says, I couldn't watch the game, so who stuck out to you? For me, Josh Johnson stuck out. Another person that stuck out was Travis Fulgham. He showed up and had a big game.
Definitely making the team now.
Yeah, Brandon Powell, man. God, jeez.
Yeah, I said that way back in the beginning. A few months ago, I said that Powell and Fulgham are going to be the guys. These Chris Lacey's, these Duharts, these Jermaine Curses.
Well, I'm just saying he stuck out to me. Thank you, D. Williams. Yes, I thank God I got a woman who is willing to suffer 2 kids while I do this. So the real MVP is her. But some of the things that jumped out to me was him. I noticed that our secondary looked to be a little bit more spectacular. I couldn't figure out dude's name, number 41, who kept on jumping up, knocking the pass down, and he got an interception too. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. But he's probably not making the team. So that's what it is. What up, though? Joseph Murdoch is in the building. But the truth is, the biggest story for me was Travis Fulgham. Isaac Nada looked like he showed up today. PJ Johnson showed up to me on defense. I really noticed him a lot. I thought he did good. And if anybody didn't pay attention, Bo Ben Shaw was playing center. Yeah, that happened. He was playing center, people. And this is huge because one of the things that they were looking for was versatility, and to have Bo Ben Shaw play center was huge, and he didn't look bad. Did you notice that?
He looked better at center than when he was at wherever he was at before, because they started him at I don't even know which side he was on, to be honest with you, but whatever side they started him there, and then they moved him to center like in the second quarter. So it was. He looked, like I said, he looked better at center than he did at the guard spot. And I'm talking about in this specific game, because in the other games in the guard spot, he was good. But I thought he was struggling a little bit early on at the guard spot.
Yeah, now we got Antoine who says Crosby was garbage. I think Crosby was having trouble with those speedier dudes, and I think that's because he's really a guard. And I don't know why they keep on trying to do this tackle thing with him, because he's a guard. Jamal Agnew can't cover. Nope. But did you see that? Did you see him? Was it the week before or something like that, or was it where he was it last week when he did the special teams? He's got special teams ability, so that's where you get a lot of that at. Other people who stood out to me,
Warrior, or people who stood out to me, Warrior.
I was just gonna say that. I was just going to say a Warrior.
Bad plays and then he got hurt. Like, that was not a good sequence. He gave up 2 passes and then got hurt, giving up a 3rd pass. And I'm like, I hope he's all right. But Warrior was playing surprisingly well. I didn't expect him to play bad, and he was the main person I was watching, as I said earlier. But he was making some plays. It was like, you might as well just stop throwing over there, like, because you ain't getting nothing over there. He played well. Mike Ford was playing really well. So, I like what I saw from Adams too. He didn't stand out, but him and Will Harris, they were just doing their job. And they had Will Harris in the box. I like that.
Yeah, I want to point out the people who stood out, but I also want to point out some other things that I really drew on.
Eric Lee. Eric Lee was a beast.
They threes. You better be a beast against threes. I thought, and I like what Melamo said. He said we went 0-4 in the preseason. Does that mean we go in reverse in 08 and go undefeated in the regular season? Wishful thinking. No, but it does tell me this. It tells me that the Lions are not as bad as what people think, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. The Lions literally scored in all 4 games. They scored 3 against the New England Patriots. I believe it was 23 against the Texans. I believe it was 24 against the Bills, and then 16 tonight. So they averaged 16.5 points a game for preseason. That seems very unrealistic to me. I do not see that being the norm for them, averaging 16.5 points. If that's the case, it's going to be some heads rolling. This I can promise you. And then they gave up 31 against the New England Patriots. They gave up like 20 to 20 today, 24 against, I think, like the Bills. And I forgot what it was against the Texans, but nonetheless, they gave up 26.25 points a game. I don't see that being the case for our defense. So
it's more like gonna be a reverse, honestly.
Right. Now, Antoine Juhan says Austin is 41. Yeah, Austin, number 41, showed a lot of good technique in reading the body language of the receiver and getting that head around and them hands up to knock that ball down. Duhart gonna make the team because somehow he keep getting back there, getting ready to block punts. He getting back there. So
you think we keeping 6 receivers?
I always suspected that they were going to keep 6 receivers. So you know,
I mean, after last year, I would rather keep 6 receivers just because I need Stafford to be able to throw to some people if some people get hurt instead of throwing to like Andy Jones and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to me, the biggest thing that I took out of it was this offense ain't that bad and the defense ain't that bad. If they are, expect for a lot of changes to come, and I'm talking about changes that many of us don't want to see.
Actually, extremely impressed by the defense. I'm actually getting very, very confident because the backups are playing solid, and with him going on for in the preseason, I'm just be honest with everyone that's listening. It's hard to win preseason games when your backup quarterbacks in those games are trash. Regardless, you know, David Fales, really, how you gonna win a preseason game with David Fales? But that's why I'm not really overreacting. And when Josh Johnson, the most competent quarterback it seems this preseason, got out there, he was the one scoring touchdowns. So that's all I need to see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with this Ted Ryan said where he says Mark Thompson is not as good as Zach Zenner. He played poorly tonight. I'm not agreeing that he played poorly, but I don't think he's better than Zach Zenner. I think to me, when I watched Thompson, I think, oh, he's a big back. He's got a little wiggle. And he reminded me instantly for some reason of Joique Bell. Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind because there were a few plays where I'm like, yo, I really want to see him turn up a little bit more speed to escape, and he just couldn't do it. And that's something that Joique Bell did. Did you feel like Mark Thompson had a phenomenal game? I mean, for the numbers, I guess you can say he was okay, but I didn't feel like it was that great.
I thought he was solid tonight. I mean, the O-line didn't really give him much because he got tackled in the backfield like 3 times, and I mean, like these dudes are right in the backfield, but he was solid. But him being better than Zach Zenner, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I feel like he has a little bit more power, and they're closer to the same level, and he just has a little bit more power. But you know, he was solid tonight. I didn't have any problems with him. Obviously, I don't want him catching any type of passes, but I like that he caught the couple passes that he caught and did something with it.
Now, I see we got a question about Tease. Tease is supposed to be reportedly still hurt, supposedly. So he didn't play. And yes, I did say Bo Benshaw was playing center, Joseph. I thought that was amazing. Crimson Shadow says, all right, Johnson won that backup position. Get the rest of the trash backups out. I mean, to me, he did. He brought something. He brought something that was different. Where they was calling read option plays. I'm like, that's different. It says, did anybody stick out that gave reason?
Darrell Bevell is used to that kind of quarterback.
Right. Joseph Murdoch says, did anything stick out that gave reason to cut ZZ? I'm very confused at that cut. What y'all say? I don't think that it was a matter of him getting cut to find somebody better, but I think that when they even brought that other running back in, he was always brought in to have research done and to be the backup to Mark Thompson because Mark Thompson was going to play a lot. Zach Zenner was in school to be a surgeon, and so they were going to let that scholar be a scholar, and I think that's why he got cut. Ted said there was no pass rush, nada.
That's not true.
I think they did okay.
Yeah,
for the most part.
We had pass rush, and at times we didn't. It was inconsistent, but PJ Johnson was causing havoc. Eric Lee definitely was doing well.
Yeah, I thought Strong had a pretty decent game too.
Yeah, so
if they keep Savage over Johnson, they crazy.
In fact, like that's just how I feel, man.
Hey, I can tell you this much. I got a lot of heat last week for saying that Johnson played better than David Fales. And people was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, he only been here 4 days and he looked like he already had command of what was going on. I didn't see that in David Fales. So I'm just saying. Crimson Shadow says our secondary has been looking good. Our hope this translate into the regular season. I think it will, because you're going to see that secondary playing behind a different front seven. You know, it's going to be a Snacks Harris out there. It's going to be a Trey Flowers who has yet to play a game for the Lions. You're going to see Mike Daniels in that mix. You're going to get all these different looks, and then you're going to have these different blitzes that they just didn't show. So I think you're going to see that.
Yeah, I'm so confident in our defense this year. I think we really going to be one of the elite groups. And this is without Jared Davis the first few weeks. I think losing him might be a blessing in disguise, because it might just take our level up just a bit higher. I'm very confident in the defense. If I'm just going off of preseason, I'm very confident.
Yeah, and I agree with Mello Mo with this one, J Mo, where he says, besides Davis and Ragnar, we got out of the preseason unscathed. Yes, people, we came out relatively unharmed. I mean, even those injuries. You know, so Colin Zilly says, hey, Luke, do you remember that football that Crimson were taking about a few shows ago? I do not. You got to refresh my memory on that. Lacey lost his job tonight. Man, that dude was, man, listen. J-Mo, I'll let J-Mo talk about Lacey. I thought Lacey.
We're not telling you about Chris Lacey, dog. He garbage.
And he's been that way.
Yo, he was never anybody. You know
John Hancock. What's up, though?
You know who I like more than Chris Lacey, and I would have rather see get an opportunity over Chris Lacey? Deontay Alexander. Because he's shown me more in the 2 years he's been like trying to get on this team than Chris Lacey ever has. So,
right.
No. Chris Lacey.
Joseph Murdoch says, will Strong make the 53? No. Unfortunately, he will not. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but he will not. He just hasn't been consistent.
I had a nice little showing too.
Yeah, but he wasn't consistent enough to maintain that spot. Lions need another linebacker. I think they have linebackers. I think the problem is just putting the linebackers in front of good defensive linemen. Left Law, you said he had a little wiggle. You is so ignorant, Detroit Drew. Get your mind out the gutter, Drew. Come on, man. Kool-Aid and Cornbread says he did not play bad at all. D the Legend says Elshawn, he did do well. Crimson Shadow says, I'm worried about our O-line depth. We lose anybody, we're screwed. I think the O-line depth is going to be what it's always been. And like I said, he's going to dress 7, but I think that the O-line depth is nothing to worry about, because like us, other teams have to cut their teams to 53. I mean, would you disagree with that though, J-Mo?
See, this is the thing. I'm not worried about the O-line depth, because I mean, it doesn't look good, but I just think Lions fans think it's going to be something like it has been the past few years. And what I mean by that is when we have O-linemen that are injury prone. Glasgow hasn't missed a game in like 3 years, knocking on wood, and Wagner and these guys. I think we're gonna be relatively healthy. I don't think we're gonna have the same kind of stuff that happened last year. It was a little bit different because last year TJ Lang was really the only one that went out. I think Wagner went out a game or two, but everybody was out there for the most part. It just they weren't good. So when you got Ben Schwa and you have another O lineman, I think we'll be fine, because Ben Schwa, it's probably somebody else they could play too. So maybe Kenny Wiggins, even though I hate him.
And you can't hate me now. Mackenzie says T's acting hurt, so they don't cut his ass. Yeah, that's true. This is the time where you see people hitting that dirt that's on that bubble. And hey, I gotta be honest. I think T's might be one of those people, because you can't cut a hurt person, but you can certainly place him on IR for a league minimum. So I don't think he want that in his books neither, because as soon as he come off that IR, they can cut him. So I don't think he want to play that life. So tone of voice says Thompson is easily better than ZZ. I'm sorry, but we go through this every year when he gets cut. I don't think that's the case. Tone of voice. I think what the thing is this: when you look at ZZ, you knew what you was getting. With Thompson, I felt like it was sporadic. Like he would make a play here, and then it would be a play where it's like, God, if he just had speed or he just had more agility to get outside, that would make a difference. I didn't see that with him. So that's how I feel about it. Leo,
people acting like Zach wasn't good.
Who?
People acting like Zach Zenner was just like, you know, some guy. I'm just gonna be honest, man. He's been our better running back since Reggie Bush left, and I ain't including Carryon or nothing like that. So let's be honest. And I'm not saying he's some amazing running back, but like the dude was solid. And just like you said, you knew what you got. He just didn't get a lot of opportunities because he had Mir from Dula.
No, and again, it's just different opportunities that's going to be presented to everybody. I just thought that, I thought Pittman did well. There was a few plays where I saw him cut off the runner, and I said, okay, that's what I want to see more of that. He got good speed. It says that was PJ's best game tonight. It sure was. He looked like a man amongst boys today, and I gave him a lot of props for that.
Where he just like pushed two guys that was trying to double team. He just like pushed them out the way. He just like moved.
Well, the thing that I love about PJ, what I watched tonight, was he was able to do something that he has issues with, which is get off double teams. And what he realized is if I neutralize it before it even starts, this doesn't happen. But this is what happened when you got a chance to work with people like Snacks Harrison, Mike Daniels, and Trey Flowers. You bound to pick up something. So, it says, please rate the O-line 1 to 10 being best. Should we be concerned? To me, Ed, the O-line for me today going up against twos and threes, I would give them a solid 5. I thought that they did okay in the run in some plays, and then they did okay in the pass. It was the blitz that they were not picking up very well, and that was really irritating to me. So I would give them a solid 5. How would you rate them, J-Mo?
I would probably, if we going off of tonight or like the full preseason, but if we going off tonight, I'll probably give them a 4. I mean, they just, to me, and I thought they were very bad in that first game, but they were even worse in this game. Tom Savage didn't have any time in the pocket at all to do anything. So, and when he did, we know what he did. And like I said, on some plays, Mark Thompson was getting tackled in the backfield, and plays were just getting blown up. So, yeah, I just don't think they were very good.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if you want to do the overall for the entirety of the preseason, they was about a 4, and that's just because that first game was that bad. But when I saw our starters out there, they were.
Our starting O-line was great. I would give it like an 8. But
I mean,
when Stafford was out there.
Now, and Briggs says Matthew Stafford this season is going to be a game manager. I can see it. What's wrong with that? There's a lot of people who have won championships as game managers, and one of them still playing, i.e. Tom Brady. What's wrong with that? Go ask Peyton Manning. When he wasn't a game manager, he couldn't get past nobody. I mean, that's okay to me. So the big takeaways for me was we walked out without injury. That was one of my big takeaways. Another big takeaway for me was that tomorrow is going to be interesting because some of the cuts are going to come tomorrow, but most of those cuts are going to come Saturday. Every team has to get down to 53 by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard on Saturday. Y'all might as well get ready to say goodbye to a lot of people. so Bob Quinn talked about it during the show, where he's like, it's hard to tell them that we're not going to go forward with them, but but it is what it is. Tone of voice says we would have been 3-1 if Cap was our backup. Tell me I'm wrong. Nope, you're not. Sometimes having a better backup does help you get better wins.
Yeah, probably 4-0.
Jelani will be more comfortable when Jared comes back. Jelani needs to get the rookie nerves out. What better way than to play him early? Well, yeah, he's certainly not playing tonight. He certainly didn't play tonight, but he will play a whole lot week 1. And and that's the best time to do it. It's the Cardinals. I mean, if there's ever going to be a chance for you to get your confidence up, it should be against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I don't know, man. I've been watching a lot. I'm watching Jelani seem a little bit different. I don't think rookie nerves is going to be a thing. What the thing with him is just going to be execution. Can you do what you were trained to do? And to me, because I'm not really concerned, because he looked comfortable out there calling the play calls when Jerry Davis was healthy and he wasn't playing in the preseason. So
Marcel Edwards says, all I know is I can't wait until Kerryon and see. I can't wait to Kerryon Johnson make C. Coward eat his words, still throwing off by that dumb list. Yeah, that list was ridiculous. Crimson Shadow says, what football refresh my memories? Yeah, I don't know. Ted says Lions with 1 sack tonight. Cleveland has 7. Yeah, great pass rush. Well, Ted, here's the thing. Pass rush is more than just sacks. There's this thing called quarterback pressure, quarterback hits. Those do more than anything else. Don't believe me? Go and look at the years. I want to say it was 2004 where the Buccaneers realized that they was going against Michael Vick. So what they do, they tagged him just for the heck of it. What he started doing, Michael Vick, he started running as much. Them passes started coming out because he thought somebody was finna tag off into him. So getting pressure and hits is way more.
Yeah, and we got us of pressure, so you got to look a little bit deeper in the game.
E. Lowe says Mark Thompson is clearly cuts above Zinner. I don't know. I feel like I feel like Michael Bell. I mean, I feel like Drake Bell is what Mark Thompson reminded me of. For some reason, that's who he reminded me of. That's what I got when I watched him. So could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm the authority. I'm just giving you what my eyes saw and how I was looking at it. Well, it says what will get a 53-man roster prediction? Stafford. It's probably gonna go Stafford times Savage, even though I think Josh Johnson has played well enough to take that spot from Savage. But it's probably gonna be Stafford, Savage at quarterback. Your running backs is going to probably be, well, not probably, but it's going to be Kerryon, CJ, Ty Johnson. Hence why he didn't play tonight. And the fullback Baldwin. And then your fullback obviously is going to be Baldwin. Your receivers is going to be Jones, Galladay, Amendola, Powell, Fulgham. I think that's who makes the team, and possibly Duhart. Possibly. Tight ends is going to be JJ, TJ, and Isaac Nada. Your left tackle is going to be Dacker. Your backup is going to be Crosby. Your left guard is going to be Joe Dow. I feel like Kenny Wiggins might still have a chance, but he's not making the team. Your center is going to be Frank Ragnow. Backing him up, it looks like Bo Benshaw and Graham Glasgow is going to be the backups there. Your right guard is going to be Graham Glasgow. Your right tackle is going to be Rick Wagner. In terms of the backups, I don't see Ibushi making his team. I don't see Andrew Donnell making his team. I think we're gonna pick up somebody to be backups. Those guys just didn't take charge of it. And J Muff, if at any point in time I say something that you don't agree with, please shoot it down. Left end is going to probably be, in my opinion, it's going to be hybrid. Sometimes it's going to be Mike Daniels, and then other times it's going to be Romeo Core. And then sometimes it might be Kennard. So they're going to play around with that.
Yeah, position. I don't even know if they really know what to do yet because we don't even got all our horses.
Right.
Austin Bryant is a rookie, but he's there. Deshaun Hand is still injured. And if if Deshaun Hand gets healthy, comes playing like he was last year, it's going to be man, they gonna be having fun out there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, what's going on, Skino Bino? But yeah, then I got the backups being, dude, what is the guy's name? He played really good today.
I think Johnson did enough to make the team.
I think he should be the team, but people, football's a good old boy club, so.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hopefully, my
You know,
black brother can get his opportunity that he's earned.
you
Like
know.
he better than Tom Savage. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Chris Wink said we are not a good team after we go 0-4 in preseason. Well, we went 4-0 in preseason and turned around and went 0-16. So
Yeah. So
preseason means nothing. This is just something you don't want to put a lot of attention to. Elo says looking for us to pick up some linebackers and O lines during cuts. I think O line
we got some
definitely.
linebackers.
I think definitely, but I don't know if they're going to chase too many linebackers. Malik Carney disappointed me, man. I really wish that he did something, man. Tad says Thompson averaged 3.2 yards on carries on 11 carries. Who said he was solid? Laughing out loud.
I mean, he did have a big run called back though, but
I mean, true, right? But I just still felt like when I watched him,
I'm saying like he the same level as Zenner. They give Zenner a chance to do some other things, man.
Yeah, I just felt like when I watched him, it wasn't there. Ben Shaw is too slow to play in the league, lacks proper technique. Look at his tape in college. He just leaned on guys. I have to disagree.
Wrong on that, but it's cool.
I had to disagree. I respectfully disagree with that, Elo. I thought Bo did a phenomenal job in certain plays, and you got to keep in mind that Bo Benchoir was on that same team that got their first 1,000-yard rusher in how many years with Devin Ozigbo, and he often ran behind that guy. So he's brought here to be more of a run guy and learn the techniques of pass. But is he still learning? Yeah. I mean, J-Mo, even you can say, I mean, if you watched him tonight, as center, you're not going to tell me he looks slow. Like, no way. Nobody is saying that. I don't think that's the case. Elo says, I think Mike Ford makes the squad. I don't. I think that Mike Ford had a better game than he did the rest of the other three, but there were still some dark spots there. That fumble was nice, but it was. I'm
unsure on Mike Ford because he played so well tonight. So I don't know.
I don't think he makes the team. I don't. If you go through and you look at the cornerbacks, you already know that they're going to keep
because he was making some special team plays too.
Right, but here's the thing: he was out there for a long time. Most of the starters didn't even get out there. So we know Slay didn't play. We know Rashawn Melvin didn't play. Justin Coleman didn't play. Warrior was out there, but okay, fine. Now, that's a rookie trying to get his reps in. All right, cool. What's the excuse for Michael Ford? And then the question becomes people like Summers, Elshon, and I'm drawing a blank on the other dude's name. They look like they was more versed in what was going on. So I can see them being in a different scenario with a better chance. And the fact that they got safeties who can move around to the cornerback spot is also another problem for Mike Ford. So I'm not knocking him. I think he had a good game, but so I don't know. Elo says, unfortunately, Chris, I'm thinking it's a mobility and pliability problem for Benchoir. That stuff just doesn't come to a 6'7", 300-pound dude. Well, we gonna find out because he getting tossed to the fire soon. Could it be E? It might come down to who gets cut on other teams. Also, it is. Whoever else get cut, what we gonna look at? It says, I like ZZ, don't get me wrong, but we are a better team now. And all things being equal, I think Thompson is the better player with more upside. I can see that part of it, especially when you put the upside part in there, but I think he's going to not make the team. I just don't think he makes the team. Jimmy says, rate the O-line 2. Laughing out loud, O-line has been my biggest worry this offseason. I think our starting O-line is good, but if we start losing guys, it's going to be a problem. Well, we got through preseason unscathed. Let's pray that's not the case. Now, J-Mo, we got Elo who says the running back 4 position is so at this point. KJ, CJ, and Ty are all better than those two. That's why I don't think those other guys make the team.
Yeah, see, I was one of the people that thought Mark Thompson could be Zach Zenner's replacement, but All I heard from fans all season was how they wanted Ty Johnson to be this and that. Well, you getting what you want. He's the guy. We got rid of Zitter for him. We got rid of Riddick for him, and we probably won't have a fourth running back because of him. So hope he live up to the hype.
Man, Chris out here talking about the technical standpoint of it. He says Thompson runs with too high of his pad level in my book, and I agree. That's probably why he don't get like he runs high, but he's trying to wait to deliver that low blow, and that's one of the things that I noticed with him. But he is not a small person, so but I think he runs high too, and I'm like, yo. And there was the one play where he caught the ball, he went to go get low, and the guy got lower than him. But I'm like, at some point, you got to show you an athlete and do a better job of avoiding them. And I don't think he did that. Now, Thompson has much better lateral movement than Bell or ZZ, like I said. I agree with that. I'm not going to act like that ain't true. However, he still look like Dre Bell. It's a weird thing to say, but I know that's the first thing that popped in my head when I watch him. Let me see. We got Chris who says if Thompson can stay lower, he's going to get huge yards at the contact. He plays too tall right now, and I think he'll get injured. Yeah. Elo went to college on us. He says NCAA football upset alert. Minnesota on upset watch versus FCS SD. Oh, wow.
San Diego?
Right, Minnesota, y'all better go pray about it. It says, "Are we going to get any trade?"
For the Lions fans on Trevor Lawrence watch, because since y'all want him to replace Stafford, he stunk it up today. I just had to do that. I'm sorry, y'all, because he supposed to replace Stafford, right? But back to your regular schedule.
It says Han has played more tackle than Ian, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he? He's played a little bit of both, but they've moved him around, and the way the defense work, he's basically like a hybrid DN. But yeah, he's played a little bit of tackle and a little bit of end. So but that's why I said that left end is going to be tossed up in the air because they're going to do it based on the scheme and the best matchup. As much as we played the rookies and backups, we definitely got good film for cuts. Oh man, listen, it's going to be a lot of people, boy. It says, Bashar from Wisconsin. Oh, he must be talking about when I'm talking about Devin Digbo. Then what's the other running back for Wisconsin? I'm drawing a blank on their names. Keep in mind, people, I am sleep deprived. I have a newborn and a toddler. It has not been a fun couple of days just adjusting to it.
Yeah, I like our defensive back depth. Like I've never been this comfortable with our defensive backs. I'm almost confident if we lost like a couple guys, not saying I want that to happen or anything, we would be able to at least tread water for a couple of games.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Jamar Summers and asking what we think about him. I think he played better than Ford tonight. I think if you watch Summers, it's like if he just figure out how to get the technique down. But he's step for step with everyone. Like every play I watch him, he is step for step with him, and he's not letting up. So I, for one, like what I saw out of him. What do you say, J-Mo?
No, I like Jamar Summers. I like his interception. I think he's one of them players that diamond in the rough type of guys. He tried hard in the AF, and he came out and he played good in this game and the last game. So I like him.
Marcel Edwards says, on the side note, once y'all take over 97.1, what's the next goal afterwards? ESPN, Fox, or straight to the NFL? I need y'all to slay these biased dragons. All of them. I'm trying to get up in there and take them all down because I think that they're not being fair. I mean, when Colin, the cohort, whatever his name is, can sit there.
I think we're gonna have our own show. I don't know what network though, but I don't know about definitely not Fox though.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you right now, man. It's no way we shouldn't have this, and it's just ridiculous that certain things is not occurring when you got people doing lists of running backs and they put Nick Chubb on there and Adrian Peterson and Kareem Hunt, but no Kerryon Johnson. I just think it's funny. Yeah. Mellow Mo says football next Sunday. I'm so excited. We should start this season with a win. I would be seriously depressed if we lose. Yeah, and you know what's funny about that? Chris Spillman in the commentary said that week 1 is a must win, and I said that's rough because I couldn't agree more. It not only is it a must win, it needs to be a must win by double digits. To me, if we win by 7, I'm upset. I am highly
I already
upset.
told y'all we lose that first game, man. I want to fire back Patricia. Like I don't care who did what. I don't care. At the end of the day, you supposed to have your defensive scheme because I've seen you scheme out the freaking Rams and the Patriots. I don't want no excuses. You can scheme out rookie Kyler Murray with the talent we got, and that's why to me, there's no way if you're a good defensive coordinator you lose this game with our roster. You just don't from a defensive perspective, and I don't see the offense doing nearly enough to lose the game. There's just no way. Like with our D line, our linebackers, our secondary, there is no way you lose this game.
J-Mo, let me ask you a question. And just for the record, people, make sure you get those likes and those thumbs up. We're trying to make sure that we get this video some love and make sure that we can get it out there. Okay. Now, Colin says, Luke, I don't have the option to watch televised games, and I believe that Crimson Shadow brought a website up or a app that you follow up that you can watch the game for free. I think I have a solution for that. I just got to make sure I can background check some things and we'll get it cleared away. But what's the name of that website again, J-Mo?
It's called VIP League. I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah, it's called VIP League, Colin.
I'll see if I can put the link in the chat, and you just click on it. And you can click on the games and watch the games. I use it all the time. Let me see.
Yeah, so after breaking down to the 53-man roster, which player cut will be immediately picked up by another team? Mark Thompson.
I was about to say Thompson, Mike Ford.
I mean, a lot of people need running backs, but they don't need them to be number 1, number 2. They need a third running back. So he would be a good third running back. I just don't think he outdo Ty Johnson in our case. Another person that if they get cut immediately is Kenny Wiggins because people need linemen. I mean, New England just traded for 2 of them. So, it says, I guarantee that Travis Fulgham makes the team. 80 yards on 3 receptions tonight. His strength is high pointing the ball deep downfield. He did that in college. Here's the problem. Yeah, that's one preseason game. That's probably the best game he's had all preseason. He's had fumbles and he's had drops and a host of other things. So, yeah, did he do good tonight? He did. But he was still a 6th-round draft pick. And
yeah, regardless of that, I still think he made the team.
I mean, he should, but if you look at
I don't think he's not making the team. But like I said, regardless of his performance tonight, I didn't think that he should not make this team. He just has some talent. And like I said, we just gotta groom him. And you know, I like what I saw today. I like what I saw before today too. I wanna be evident about that.
Well, listen, you ain't gonna get too much fight out of me. Bug Spray says Hoyer. No, y'all do not want Hoyer. I swear to God.
If we got Josh Johnson, I don't want Hoyer. But if we got Tom Savage, I want
no.
Hoyer.
But I think there are gonna be some. I mean, I would rather take CJ Beathard over Hoyer. I really would.
Hey, Beathard was balling for.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to get cut. So I think I would rather have CJ Beathard than Brian Hoyer. I just think I would. Brian Ellis says I would say Santos would get picked up, but he had a horrible game. We know.
You see that field goal,
man, bruh. I was just gonna go into it.
He wasn't even trying.
He said he also want to know what's up with Tease. He didn't play. He's claiming that he's hurt. And I'm not going to act like he's not, but this is not unusual for people to claim injury. It's not. Arizona is getting whipped, fellas. They better. I'm telling you right now, we cannot win that game by a field goal. We can't win it by a touchdown. I need to see double digits.
I thought we was winning by 17 and people was calling me crazy. I'm like, man, we winning by 17.
Mars is landing. What's going on, man? Mars says Tease is out of here. Like, in other words, tell him goodbye.
The Lions fans hate Tease, but for now he's that tick you can't get rid of. You can't get rid of him yet. He gonna make it.
Brian Ellis says Bo making the team after he showed he can play center. Oh yeah, he's guaranteed because he not only did he play center, he played it well. it wasn't like he was out there like not doing his job. He played it pretty well. So yeah, I think he's a lock to get it done. Anyone remember TJ Duckett from State? I think Thompson can be that for us at some point. Other than our backup quarterback, I think we're ready for the world. I agree with that. I can see the TJ Duckett comparison, because he a big body, runs high. But the fact that they played him this much this game was very telling to me that they were trying to get him some tape so he can get a job somewhere else. Brian Ellis says Kenny Wiggins ain't getting cut. I'm gonna tell you why I think Kenny Wiggins is getting cut. Okay, give me a second. J-Mo, get him some key moments. I got to look up something because if I'm not mistaken, I like to make sure I give right information. But I'm finna tell you
why. With Kenny Wiggins is like I don't see any when he's blocking, I don't see any push. I just don't know what he's great at or good at. And a lot of times I know we didn't have any of our offensive tackles give up any pressures, and he was one of those guys rotating in, but I hope we don't make the team. I hope one of our other rookies is better than him because I've seen him play in the regular season against real competition. It just wasn't the best. I know that was JBC's offense, but like I said, it's not like Kenny Wiggins has impressed in the preseason. Joe Dahl has impressed. I mean, like I said, Joe Dahl looked like a completely different person. I mean, the way he was pushing the pocket, like he was manhandling people. I'm like, is this the same guy?
Not to mention this. If the Lions cut Kenny Wiggins, they saved $2.75 million.
Oh, he gone.
So, and they only take a $375,000 cap hit. So the question becomes, if they're not cutting him, why are they going to keep somebody who's making almost $3 million to be the backup? So if you wanted to do a little bit of a comparison, in terms of say like what's his name, Terrell Crosby. So let's say we did a different comparison, or no, let's do Abushi. How you pronounce his name? O'Day Abushi. Okay. If they cut him, they get $1 million. They take a $250,000 cap hit. He's gone. But if we go down to Andrew Donnell, if they cut him, they take $15,000 cap hit. They save $670,000. I can get the same production out of one of those guys, or better yet, I can get that production out of Luke Bowinkle. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he makes more money than Terrell Crosby, and I can put Terrell Crosby at left tackle and guard. So I think Wiggins is getting cut. Now, if he don't, I will be the first to come back and say you are right. So, so that's just the way it boils down. Money talks, man. Brian Ellis says Tom Savage looked bad today. Yes, he did. D the legend says Hoyer is I think he's going to say Hoyer sucks, but yeah, I believe it. Mars Lennon says I like Beathard, which is why I'm trying to stay away from Brian Hoyer.
Hey, I like Beathard too, man.
Which is why I'm trying to stay away from him.
I seen Beathard playing with a trash team. He was balling, so hey, I like him as a backup.
Right, and like I said, they're going to cut him. I'm almost sure they're going to cut him because what's that dude named McMullins? I think he's shown that. I think he's shown that he's a good backup. So Chris says Wiggins is going to be the first one that, if he makes the team, is going to have to take a pay cut. He's going to have to take something or get cut. I mean, it is what it is. Quinn would pick up 2 players at the Saturday's roster deadline. They need a linebacker and a guard. I really wanted them to pick up.
I think they'll get a guard because I think what's going to happen is Tyrell and Bo will make it, and that 8th guard might be somebody they pick up. I'm not really thinking it's going to be Kenny Wiggins or O'Day Abushi or Donnell or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Elo says, what happened to your boy Khalil Hodge? The same thing that happened to a lot of people. Football, any sport, is about who know who and who got the right connections to hype it up. You know what I mean? Like, I give you a perfect example. When I played football, I had all the stats, I had all the numbers, and everything was beautiful, right? But those kids who were going to football camps were getting more publicity than me. And my stats were better than theirs. My bench press and my squats were better than theirs. And those guys were getting more press. Not only did Khalil Hodge not get drafted, they didn't even draft TJ Edwards. And I'm like, yo, that's a good linebacker. You know, even the linebacker from Texas, I want to say his name is something Johnson. I'm drawing a blank right now. There was a lot of people that did not get picked up. Devin Ozigbo didn't get drafted. And if that's not enough, go and look at the NFL history of undrafted players who you look back on and you say, how did this guy go undrafted?
Yeah, remember, Snacks ain't get drafted.
Right. Snacks Harrison was not drafted. He was not drafted. He actually got a shot by accident. He was working and he met somebody who had a connection and was like, hey, he was like, yeah, I played football and blah, blah, blah. And that's how he got in. It was a lot of people like Arian Foster, you know, and the list goes on and on and on of undrafted people. So I think the NFL is about connections and who you know. And if you get those connections, you get in. It just boiled down to it. There are certain coaches and owners who have relationships with certain colleges. Don't believe me? Go talk to Jerry Jones in Arkansas. He just magically can get everybody from there. It's amazing. Says we got to pick up some old linemen ASAP. I think we will. We don't have the depth. That is yet to be seen. Thompson, I like him, but he can't catch. The thing about running backs that catch to me, and J-Mo, you can stop me if you think I'm crazy. When a running back can truly catch, he knows how to keep his eyes down the field, corral the ball, and still make a move on a defender. That is not what you're getting from Thompson. He's not doing that. He says he's a serviceable guard and a tackle. I don't want him to start. That's the whole point. Crazy Clown, 0-4 in the preseason. The starting quarterback only had 5 snaps. We are looking like a 40-7 loss versus Arizona because of the Lions having no chemistry offensively. Nope, I disagree. Their chemistry came in joint practices. When we joint practice against the New England Patriots, when we joint practice against the Houston Texans, and then that dress rehearsal against the Bills. I think that we had those things where they were showing stuff because those were teams that we were not going to play. So I think they'll be just fine. Penalties are hurting the Lions. I hope Bevel can get it under control. I agree with that. I don't care. I don't care if you're a backup or not. You got to get that under wrap.
I mean, it was penalty every single play after play after play, kickoff return after kickoff return, punt return after punt return.
Right.
And it's just weird. Something that's been happening all season. I mean, all preseason.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Summers played well. The coaches of the Lions coach to keep from losing instead of coaching to win. I think they just didn't want to show nothing. TA, aka No Sports Entertainment, says, does Pittman make the roster? No. Unfortunately, he does not. And I think he should. He's going to be a practice squad designated because they're going to say, oh, well, nobody's going to pay attention to him. And I think that's a mistake. Let me see. 67 for Cleveland. The fourth quarter was looking, laugh out loud, a monster. Keep an eye on us going after him. Yeah. Good job to keep an eye on that. Top Tier says, yo, what up, though?
What up, man?
John Hancock says, where's Theo? Denver. He got cut a long time ago. If you guys got any questions you want to ask me or J-Mo, pose them right now because we're going to shut it down soon because I need to get sleep before my baby wakes up. So my clock is short. It says, Lions keeping 3 tight ends. Jerome Cunningham is getting cut. Yes. Nada to the practice squad. I don't think so. I think the reason Nada is not going to the practice squad is because your 1 and your 2 is going to be TJ and Jesse James. So your 3 is going to more than likely be Isaac Nada. I don't think they're going to risk putting Isaac Nada on practice squad. I don't.
Yeah, and after, he didn't have like the greatest game in the world, but him and Fulgham were the only ones with 3 catches, and he had 45 yards and a touchdown. So, and he was playing fullback too. So, I definitely think Nada is making a team and not the practice squad.
I can tell you this much. Let me put it like this. If you put him on the practice squad and New England is trying to find a tight end, the Dallas Cowboys are trying to find a tight end. You know how many teams need a tight end? like you put them on the practice squad and it's going to be short-lived. I'm telling you right now, I would be surprised if he make it. I think they keep 3 tight ends, and I think he's one of them. Not only can he play the tight end position, they literally scouted this dude. They brought him in for multiple visits as one of their 30 visits. And then on top of that, when opportunity presented itself, they figured we got a guy who not my worst, they worst, that they had a 3rd round grade on that fell to them in the 7th. I don't know, man. I don't know. And, I think this is more of the Lions playing possum than anything else.
Lions fans, y'all running around like a chicken with your head cut off because y'all know what to do. Oh, we losing in the preseason. Oh, we not showing this and showing that. Look, Lions fans, what happened when the offense was out there with the ones? That's all I need to be concerned about against a defense that was number 1 last year. That's all I'm concerned about, honestly.
Now, Chris right here, Chris right here is becoming my person of the day. He says, I think the Lions worked the preseason perfectly. We worked a base defense and offense and mostly played rookies and 3rd, 5th stringers and had no major injuries. Also didn't give up audibles. Where's my clap button when you need it? Where's my clap button when you need it? 12th man pride. What up, though? He says, how did Mark Thompson do this game? He did okay. He did okay. He was pretty decent. I'm not gonna knock him on it. I just think that he's not making this team. He played way too much for somebody who's making this team. They didn't play Carry-On, they didn't play Ty, and they did not play CJ, which means that he at best is number 4. They ain't keeping 4 running backs. It's just not happening. Sorry to tell you, it's not happening. Easter to LA says, think the same thing, Luke. New England will be all over him. Yep. Listen, you put Isaac not out there,
on the phone himself.
Let me see. We got Rich Law who says, preach, J-Mo. Look, he tell it like it is, J-Mo. Talk to him. Wayne Fontes is the best coach that Lions has ever had in my lifetime. You know what's funny about that crazy clown? Let me get to this before we shut this thing down. I was talking to a fan the other day while we both were waiting on our children to be born. We just had to have a conversation. And he was telling me how he used to be so irritated with Jim Leland. And he was like, oh, man, I would say it all the time, fire Jim Leland. And then Jim Leland stepped down and he looked at him. He said that was the biggest thing that he regret because he said this team for the Tigers ain't been good since he left. He also told me that he was one of them people who was screaming, fire Wayne Fontes, fire Wayne Fontes. And then he said if he had known that the Lions were going to go into the dumpster fire that they did in that stretch, he would have never said that. But he also told me that he also wanted Larry Brown fired. And the point I'm trying to make to you is this. We as fans often ask for things because we think that the grass has to be greener on the other side. But every time we get what we want, we don't never want to talk about it. And that's where the truth come in at. So, now CA3 Sports Talk just got in here a little late. We are finna get off. So,
what's up, man?
Now we finna get off, man. You a little bit late, but we gonna try to get you in the building now. Well said, Chris. Let me see what's going on here. It said at J-Mo and Luigi, thanks for spending time with us. I understand y'all are tired. I truly appreciate the time you give. Yeah, I'm trying to give more late shows, man. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. With a newborn and a toddler, man, this is a real battle.
Yeah, Luke and Trooper out here, man. Thanks, man. We just
man. It says, what is considered good for hockey fans?
Stay connected, man.
First of all, let me just point out that Blessed Up has one of the nicest pictures with Drake right there, Tommaso. So I appreciate it, but Blessed Up is always a good. He says, what is considered a good for Hockenson this year? Not getting hurt. providing help in the run game and the pass game with blocking, and being available in the short game for the quarterback when needed. I'm not looking at major numbers for him. I just want to know that every aspect of the game he is contributing. That's what makes him have a good season.
I say 600 yards, at least 5 touchdowns from a stats perspective. Protecting the quarterback, like in blocking schemes and blocking in the run game, just the simple stuff. But I expect him to be. I think he's gonna have way more than just like 600 yards, but I'm just tempering it. But it's gonna be a point in the season where T.J. Hockenson will be unstoppable. You heard it here first.
Crazy Clown says 500 is better than 3-13
Wow.
or 0-16, 8-8. Crazy Clown, I think you're going to get better than 500. So, Roman the New Age says, I know your pain, Luke. Trust me, this is a different beast. It's a huge adjustment for me, and I'm trying my best. Buzz Spray say, peace out, fellas. Great show. Appreciate it, man. Let me see.
We can wrap this up, man. Carl, you got any closing words for the final preseason game?
Unfortunately, I live out of state, so I didn't have the luxury to watch preseason game, but I'm not missing much. But I'll be able to watch the regular season games. So you should expect me to make videos on all the games and stuff. Sorry for my inactivity. School is kind of kicking my butt so far. So it's hard out here in the streets. So, but I'll try to drop some videos. So,
hey man, trust me, I totally get it. Blessed Stuff says, what role would Ty Johnson play in our offense? Wild card. So he's going to get a little bit of slot receiver. He's going to get swing passes, reverses. They're going to use him like a wild card.
Theo already.
Man, yeah, he's going to get a lot of it.
he can actually run the ball unlike Theo. So,
It says, thanks for what y'all do, DSA baby 1 week. Yeah, man. Hey, no problem, man. We're trying our best to get everything bridged, man. That's, we're about the community. So if we can get every part of the community in here, that's what we're trying to do, man. So make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he's trying to put emojis in here and it just didn't pop up. It said, let's get ready for the first regular season game. Oh yeah, it's finna go down, man. Real football is here. We're done with all this exhibition stuff. So we off. J-Mo, final thoughts?
My final thoughts is I like what I saw from the defense. I mean, my confidence in how good this defense is going to be it's extremely high. I think I'm jumping all the way out the window. We might have a top 5 if they stay healthy, because if our backups are playing this well, getting all of these interceptions, and when the starters were out there, they were playing well, I think they're going to be good. I think Powell and Fulgham did enough to make the team. Tom Kennedy showed some flashes, but couldn't do enough. Not enough opportunities out there. Josh Johnson should definitely be the backup quarterback.
Okay. Nova Sports Entertainment says Ty Johnson is going to be our Switch Army knife. 12th Man says, do I think Flowers is going to improve steadily for yet another season? I do, especially with Snacks next to him. I mean, who was playing next to him in New England? Danny Shelton? Yeah, okay. Now you get Snacks and you get Mike Daniels. Okay, he got a little bit more to work with here, so he should be showing up. It says, I'm seeing a shift in all these media people on the Lions. None of them can see how Detroit is holding things out, and they're starting to open some eyes, and the media people are starting to cover their butts. Yep, that's what they're gonna do. Crazy Clown says, I am drunk and I'm cool with your channel. You seem cool. Go Lions, man. Crazy Clown, man, have fun. I'm too asleep to even notice anything crazy. So you good. Which running back is better at picking up blitzes in the pass protection? Right now, CJ Anderson. He's going to be our best option. So see you later, Crazy Clown. Nova Sports Entertainment says, good show, fellas. Subscribe to the Detroit Sports Alliance. Hey, man, appreciate it. Final words and final thoughts. Hope you enjoyed the 4 preseason games, because they was meant to be used as a tool to evaluate talent, not evaluate the teams and their abilities. The Detroit Lions played possum and did not show anything for that reason and that reason alone. They wanted to show all their best stuff for when it counts, as they should. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for rocking with us. A brother is tied. And I leave you with this great piece of advice. Don't be no chump. Please do your research and make sure you subscribe to the DSA members. We out.